Será que estamos ao vivo? Eita, peraí. Tivemos um problema aqui. Aê, agora sim. Acho que estamos ao vivo agora, hein? Me fala aí, galera, se estamos ao vivo. Talvez está sendo repetido aí, né? Vamos ver. Deixa eu ver se eu estou transmitindo pela Twitch. Não, vamos transmitir também. Bora. Deixa eu só conferir aqui se está tudo funcionando. Me atrasei um pouco aqui, tive que resolver uns probleminhas. Mas vamos ver o que vai vir. Opa, já tem gente aqui no chat. Já tô vendo gente no chat. Seja Gameplay, Samuel também chegou aqui. Bora, vamos ver quais as novidades. Não sei inglês, galera, já vou falar para vocês. Não sei inglês, então vamos ver aí o que eles vão falar aí, né? O que eles vão mostrar, quer dizer. Eita. Deixa eu ver aqui como é que tá o som. Não sei se o som tá saindo para vocês, espero que sim. Deixa eu só pegar aqui. Já volto com a tela aqui, galera. Deixa eu só dar uma olhadinha aqui. Já volto com a tela aqui. Deixa eu só pegar uma outra tela para mim ver aqui como é que tá a transmissão. Estamos ao vivo. O Vulcano também está aqui na Twitch. Obrigado pela presença. Mugiwara também está por aqui. Alisson, bem-vindos aí para a nossa transmissão. Beleza, Vulcano, seja muito bem-vindo. Tamo junto, galera. Deixa eu ver só se está saindo minha voz, o som. Tá sim. Beleza. Bora que bora. Já vou ver os comentários aí. Deixa eu só achar aqui um... Cadê o meu fone de ouvido? Tem um retorno pelo celular. Se alguém sabe inglês aí, já vai falando para nós aí, galera. O que tá rolando aí? Bora que bora. Deixa eu só colocar aqui no meu celular para mim ouvir a transmissão. Fechar tudo isso aqui. Quem puder compartilhar para mim, galera, nos grupos aí, a Gé ou alguém que tiver por aí, dá essa força para nós. Deixa eu ver se está tudo saindo aqui. O som deles não está saindo, né? Tá saindo o som agora, gente? Não estava saindo já hoje. Obrigado a vocês que estão chegando aí. Tá saindo o áudio agora, normal? Eu ergui no máximo aqui. Deixa eu ver. Tá no máximo aqui, ó. Deixa eu ver aqui.
leading the charge on this.
Yeah. Also, just so you guys know, a lot of stuff we do is just going to be on the spot today. So
yeah, we have a good plan, but like
we haven't really planned exactly what we'll say, but sorcery.
We sort of did, but yeah.
Sorcery, making sorcery.
Eu que tô falando meio baixo. Eu acho que deve ser isso.
It took us a really long time to get through all the stuff we had to put out and get the store out and everything. I mean, I think we were in development for somewhere between 1.5 and 2 years or something like that. And when you work for a long time like that without showing things to people, you maybe sometimes feel like, hey, are we doing the right thing? Are we going to hit the mark here, or are we just
Vou falar
totally
muito, né, para não atrapalhar, mas para nós acompanhar, né?
The reception has been amazing.
Todos que estão chegando
the actual
aí.
Release of Sorcery was probably one of the most emotional moments in my entire career. Because just seeing everyone freak out in chat, seeing the trailer reveal and everything was amazing.
Well, and there was also the kind of people. Some folks got to see a little bit earlier than intended.
Some people did, but it was a small number.
Yeah.
Everyone that actually got to see it, and it was a blast.
Yeah,
we were all super tired. I remember doing the sorcery stream immediately, like after that weekend, and we came in, and I was just like. I was bushed, bud.
Bruh, we were all like, bruh.
It was hard. It was hard to get through, but it was so exciting. It was like almost like a second wind hit you, And even though your eyes are drooping and you're kind of falling over the keyboard, it was still a lot of fun. And yeah, it has been it's been so awesome to see the community get so much bigger, and we have so many players now and so many new players too. Like the number of new players is insanely high.
Oh wow, nice. Yeah, I haven't looked at all those.
I'm probably not allowed to talk about numbers with it, so I just won't. But I'm really happy to see a lot of new people coming in and staying to see what's coming up next with Exiles. And our 3-month release cadence is I think being really helpful in terms of keeping people playing and interested.
Yeah, it's a ton of work. Like live service is not an easy task at all, but it's also really exciting. Like it's really exciting to have that kind of cadence, because then we can now move forward with like a more set plan for like the kind of content that we release, and also gives us an opportunity to also finally add like a continuing like advancing plot within the exiled lands.
Indeed.
Yes.
Or multiple plots.
Shark Kishi chegou aqui também.
Well.
Obrigado pela primeira vez aqui.
Multiple plots, huh? What?
Vamos torcer que venha coisa boa,
maybe
né,
we should talk about what the next parts are.
Yeah, let's
maybe. I figure that's what most people are here for. So, friends and foes and siblings of battle, we would like to welcome you soon to. Okay, don't mess this up.
Ash of War.
And the crowd goes wild.
Wowie zowie!
Yes, welcome to the Age of War.
Indeed. Let's see, bloodshed and the clashing of steel and wits is just like as entwined within like the Hyborian, like Conan DNA as like punching camels, right? Like it is
more so, I would say.
More so, yeah. Like it is essential to the Conan like experience, and we're going to be embracing that wholeheartedly in the coming months. So very exciting indeed. Age of War. So, why war? What's going on? What's the thing?
Why
What's
war?
The deal?
So, if ever there's a question about what the next age will be, one of
teremos
the best
guerra.
things you can do is look to the community.
Guerra dentro do
See what
jogo,
people are
hein?
requesting the most and what people want to see
Será
in
que
the
vai
game.
favorecer mais o
What kind of complaints
PVP
people have,
dessa
things like
vez?
that. Because we always want to try to make the game better for everyone. So, the Age of War was an idea for an opportunity to focus on
Cláudio Santos
updates to
chegou
the
aqui.
combat
Obrigado,
system.
Cláudio. Bem-vindo.
And one of the biggest things is the purge. So we'll talk more about the actual cadence of releases and what we'll be getting into. But the biggest things we'll focus on in the Age of War is actual combat with your character against AI and the purge content itself.
Yes. So we actually have, so the Age of War is also going to be a little bit different from the Age of Sorcery in that a lot of the things that we're going to be adding in the first chapter is like a major foundation to the things that we want to build toward for the future updates or future chapters for Age of War. So, you know, Dennis just touched on like purges. There'll be more details about that later, because we're just going to give you a quick roadmap on exactly what our aims are with the coming age. Give me just one moment here. There we go. So, the first chapter will include new clan features and new clan social features, including the ability, well, we'll go into it in a little bit, but the ability to create and collect treasure and currency for your clan. Finally being able to display customize and display a clan emblem as well as clan permissions, and as also Dennis said, the beginning of a substantial improvement to the combat system, like in all the combat mechanics within Conan Exiles. And then later on in Chapter 2, we'll have a huge new update for purges, which we'll be going into. We unfortunately won't be able to go into a ton today, but you know, obviously stay tuned because it's all in testing right now. We have a lot of stuff that I'm really excited to show, and then you might see this in Chapter 3. You'll just have to wait till later to find out more about that. But let that whet your palate. I know it doesn't slake your thirst for more, but stay tuned, friends. So yeah, let's see. Quick.
Andy, do you want me to do a little quick overview of each of those chapters as well?
Yeah.
I know we've got that page, and we'll go more into detail about Chapter 1 today.
Yeah.
We probably won't talk a lot about Chapter 2 and Chapter 3.
Sure.
But I can give you guys a kind of rundown on that now.
Okay. Yeah, please.
So in Chapter 1, one of the largest activities you'll be doing, and most of the content will be formed around collection and building. So you'll be able to create your own treasure room inside your base, and there will be some specific kind of treasure that you need to go out and bring back. A lot of things that have sort of value to people already, like gems and ore and coins and things like that, will be marked as treasure. And we'll show some more stuff off about that later as well. But the whole point is you're collecting money, bringing it back to your base, and keeping a tally of how much money you have. So in Chapter 2, that's when the purge revamp mechanics will come in. And we've taken the purge system and completely removed what was there before and written a new purge from the ground up. It will be a completely different experience in the purge as it exists now. We're looking at something that's a lot more warlike. Like a base will form out, an enemy forward operating base will form outside of your base. They'll set up, you know, catapults and attack with waves towards key points in your base, trying to breach to that treasure room so they can steal the treasure and take it away from you. You'll be able to spend that treasure to buy things to help reinforce your base and go up higher and higher difficulty in the purge. So it will be kind of like a progression of sorts where you fight weak ones and then you fight stronger and stronger ones. And it all kind of depends how much money you have. And the reason for that is rooted in the purge lore that we already have. So, you know, we already have the relic hunters in the exiled lands. We have the purge coming through and attacking you. The story behind the purge and the relic hunters is that they're both in the exiled lands in search of riches, right?
Lucas chegou aqui por aqui também. Obrigado pela presença, Lucas.
So now that's what they'll actually do. We'll have relic hunters in the second chapter that will attack you when you're trying to carry treasure to your base. And
ele tá bebendo outra coisa aí,
purge occurs as well. Those will all be kind of themed around the people, like you know, trying to come get those things from you. And then in the third chapter, you'll be able to turn the tables on the people that are attacking you and go back to their base and assault them and steal from them.
And of course, like another essential thing or element, I think, of a lot of Robert E. Howard's old stories is also like, you know, Conan is oftentimes depicted as a thief as well, stealing from the rich or having these like jobs to like go infiltrate a tower to find some incredible treasure or gem or something like that. In fact, in our old MMO, Age of Conan, the barbarian class was actually considered a rogue class because like even though, you know, barbarians, I guess in like fantasy tropes are like supposed to be like the unga bunga swing fight stuff, but you know, Conan's version.
Bora, galera, bora. Aí a Sereno tá falando e deixa o like.
Not being a part of whatever, you know, civilized society is, and like kind of living on the brink or living on the outskirts of that, and like sticking it to the man.
Deixa o follow aí na Twitch.
And then, you know, fending from stuff, etc., etc. So it's a lot about like cutthroat and cunning more so than it is about just brute force. And of course, you know, money and riches and greed are the root of much conflict and war.
Indeed.
In general, so.
And that, as you'll see, is the motivation for, you know, what will be unfolding in the exiled land.
Quem puder ir traduzindo isso
em
palavras mesmo, galera, não precisa traduzir tudo.
You may have heard Dennis talk about like treasures and being able to carry treasures.
Entende um pouco do inglês aí.
Like grow your hoard.
Mas por enquanto é guerra, né?
Chapter 1, and that's something that we can actually show you today and show you how that works and show you how that can be like the foundation for everything else that we're working toward as well.
And there's a little more stuff I'll talk about too a little bit later, but you know, the whole idea is kind of having this central currency system that you can use to pay into other systems in the game later down the line.
Yeah, so like finally like a better use for like those gold coins and the gold bars that you might find here and there too. Instead of just melting them down or throwing them in the getting dust for them or something like that. So they'll actually have like a value that you can add to your hoard as well. We can show that off, I guess, too. So we have a little let's just do live.
People also wearing, they love the mug that you're
yeah, I saw a little bit of chat. They're like, oh, can we play prom coins for that mug? No, this is supposed to be like an internal thing. Like we got this for our summer party, I think. So sorry for the green screen effect, but it's a Funcom branded mug, and then on the back is this you can trust.
It's supposed to be for beer, right? Or
yeah, it was originally supposed to be like a beer mug. So yeah, like this you can trust. It's a reference to the old like Riddle of Steel, or I think it was Riddle of Steel. It's like when it's like a vision of Conan's father telling him like you can trust no man, and hands him a sword and
sistemas vai ter alterações.
The steel at your side is the only thing that you can trust.
Mais devastadoras. Ai que delícia!
Your arms. As it were.
From the first
Obrigado pelo follow, Alex.
That's what it was. That's right.
Seja bem-vindo.
Seeing Arnold showing excitement on potentially reprising his role as Conan or something, that'd be really cool. Okay, so before I get into that, before I get sidetracked, as I do sometimes because I have terrible ADHD, let's swap to view.
Você vai ter que comprar e ter equipes para combater.
Are we going to the horde?
Louco.
Yeah, let's show off the horde.
I don't know where it is.
Isso é legal, hein?
It's in the main building here. So yeah, so just go through those big 3 doors and it's just like pretty much
show de bola, tomara que seja assim mesmo.
Yeah.
Fábio Santana chegou aqui, obrigado pela presença.
So here we're also, of course, the update, of course, will also include, as you might expect, and we'll go into it later as well, like new building pieces, new costumes, new doors and decorations. And of course new placeables, but we'll show some of that stuff off in a little bit. So here we have a custom treasure room made for our guild or clan called the Hunters, sporting a custom emblem that I just threw together, which we'll show in a little bit too. And so this basically shows you that when you create a clan, you can create a room and you place down your first like horde, like centerpiece. I don't know exactly what you would call it, but
it's the coffer.
The coffer, okay, yeah. So the bench, or like the placeable for it, the building for it. Visually, it's represented by a large chest, and also comes bundled with a friendly accountant. They're checking your books for you, and then you can also check your clan's total, currency value, or like what's in your hoard by like simply interacting with it to see what's all there. And all items, like so you saw in the chest, for example, there's a bunch of like gold and gold coins that you just place directly into the chest, and it will be counted for your hoard. And then you may have noticed on that list also a couple of so anything marked treasure will count towards your clan's hoard total. Now, when Dennis was talking to our friend here, you might have also noticed a couple entries at the bottom that ancient Lemurian statue, for example, Drakedo cat idol, and you can see they're worth a ton in comparison. So what are these? These are called heroic treasures.
Impressão minha, finalmente as moedas vão ser valorizadas no jogo, né? Porque essas moedas nunca são bem valorizadas.
We also have these giant centerpieces that are worth a ton. They're larger than life. You can't quite fit them in your pockets, and so you have to haul them around. They're big. Oops. So big in fact.
Elisandro chegou aqui, obrigado, Elisandro. Seja muito bem-vindo.
Everything shown here today is still in development. Is subject to change. You might see a couple bugs here and there. Please excuse us for this. But yeah, so when you find heroic treasure, and you'll find heroic treasure in various camps throughout both Isle of Sipta and the Exiled Lands. When you clear the camp, you can then pick up the heroic treasure and transport it back to your base. Now, the exciting part is when you're holding it, you're slowed, you have to hold around, and you're completely vulnerable while you're holding it. So it's very important that
vai ser a era dos tesouros.
We highly suggest bringing some friends.
Você vai poder tirar uma
really
onda.
Fun with friends.
It is, yeah.
Like going through a camp
pegar, coletar diversos itens. As hecatombes vão ser reformuladas. Agora os clãs vão criar base perto da sua.
In chapter 1, you'll just have to defend from the native population, whatever camp you're walking through. And in chapter 2, we're going to have it so relic hunters actually ambush you, trying to take the treasure from you while you're carrying it.
Yeah, so I'm seeing in chat also, can it be dropped? Yes. So like, if you do get ambushed, like, yeah, you can drop it and then take up arms if you really need to, like, obviously.
Like any action.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
Whoopsie, that wasn't the cat. Yeah, so like anything you do, like I just jumped there.
Pegar no colo
agora?
So
you just drop it. No, and so yeah, I saw another question in chat. Like I think they said like can thralls pick it up or anything like that. I don't think currently, but I believe you can teleport with the treasures, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you can teleport with them. We have
aparecendo
kind of
outros jogos, né, que eu já vi. Olha.
Let thralls or mounts carry them later down the road. But for the initial release, it's not the case. I'm not even sure that we'll do it during this age or not. But it's a thing that we've been talking about and thinking about, yeah.
Yeah, it's something that got brought up like an internal.
Carex chegou aqui aí, salve Carex, como é que tá aí?
Also something to note, sometimes you notice also this like big like
PVP vai ser interessante, olha.
Like all that like
funky
tem que jogar
PVP.
That's kind of like the area, like the sphere of
influence. Qual que é a função desse bicho aí que tá aparecendo
essas
luzes aí, galera? Vocês entenderam?
Within that area
will
be considered as part of your horde. So you can see it's actually a pretty sizable space. You don't have to like put it right in the same room. It allows you to make like a big elaborate treasure room for your clan, for example, and have it kitted out, the glitz and glam everywhere, and have all, put your jade war horns or cat statues, arrange them in however you want, etc., etc.
Here's another statue.
Você vai poder pegar qualquer coisa no colo,
so these
então.
various things will be appearing pretty much at
Isso
random
vai dar lag
throughout the world. And in fact, I believe we're doing. We can touch on this a little bit later when we talk about combat. But a lot of camps have also just been like kind of redone or rebalanced or just repopulated in various ways as well.
This guy's forearm strength is insane.
That's a hell of a posture, dang. Yeah. I think that's like core strength actually. It's like, you're holding that there, but then like lower back is just like, oh yeah.
Being pulled out.
You can get a diving emote so you can Scrooge McDuck into the gold pot.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Curte armadura. Parece muito o chapéu do meu vizinho.
Anyway, yeah, so we have a diving animation.
A pergunta é, essa construção vai ser quanto?
We're actually adding a new diving animation into the update, and I had a little clip of like the character jumping off
Salve,
the big bridges and falling. But yeah, you kind of did it here, yeah. So you can actually in fact swan dive. If you want to jump 3 feet and then go head first into your pile of coins.
Agora você vai poder dar salto. Vamos ver.
Yes, off the top rope.
Isca.
Let's go.
A lot of these treasures that you can pick up too have little interactions, so they'll like play.
Agora não é só lá no.
Oh, sweet, yeah. We have a couple other
new
items actually along
those lines
too, which we can show in a bit. I think we had a couple that we laid out.
I don't know if it was totally clear, but like all these gold piles
Luiz
and
Felipe
everything on the
chegou aqui,
floor and
obrigado pela presença, Luiz Felipe. Boas.
So you can make the room look however you want.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just like how we dressed it up. Like this is how our
vão adicionar mais lixo no jogo.
Anderson, the person who
Assassin's Creed, né? E aquele do PlayStation, me fugiu o nome que dá esse salto também.
Marketing B-roll and other screenshots.
Zero Down lá, não sei o que Zero Down.
So yeah, he arranged the room however he wants. I can imagine in chat right now being like, oh yeah, it's too big for clean spam. I know.
We also have,
but that's why we do it on private servers.
We'll show stuff later, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we can show that too. And since it's right there, I mean, we have new dungeon pieces that are coming up as well. I did see someone make a comment about like, make a joke about like, oh yeah, it's the age of death by snoo snoo or something like that. And we saw the tweet.
Prender
like,
as pessoas aí? Que isso?
Yeah, someone linked the image of Fry's app and Kip actually in the shackles, and I was like, they have no idea how close to reality that actually is.
Yeah, so you can chain yourself up to them, or actually you can also
Salto
throw a thrall.
Salto da fé.
You can put unconverted thralls into this as well. Right now you can't take them out. That's the thing we might change later, like making it unconverted thrall storage.
Refrim, aí é refrim. Obrigado pela presença, seja muito bem-vindo.
Yeah, and so until you replace it. Or
if you want to put in you have to destroy the thrall and have it replaced in order to video games, folks. So and so
só mais coisa para lagar.
We have the horde room. We have all this.
Tô vendo. Jonathan Martinez chegou aqui, obrigado pela sua presença, Jonathan. Para que eles arrumem no PS4, pois é.
Because later you're going to be able to use those funds that use that currency you've accumulated for a ton of things for your clan and for your base and for your server. Basically, we have a lot of really awesome stuff cooking up.
Yeah, it'll also be what determines the difficulty of the purge.
That's right.
So. If you want to get high tier ones, you should have a high, full overflowing coffer.
Yeah, if you have a huge horde, then yeah, you're going to get a consummate bunch of folks being like, hey, let me get some of that. I'm trying to break your walls down to get a piece. And so obviously with clan hordes being a thing, like
Não falaram data ainda, né? Mas deve ser começo do mês que vem, né?
Bringing your players under the same banner, and so to that end, also we also wanted to make sure that clans and players and communities finally had better ways to express their own individual group's identity, and so we are going to also be rolling out a new clan emblem workbench. Clan emblem totem, which allows you to customize with some caveats for your clan to display on various items and new placeables that we're adding as well. I think what's going into the update are a couple different shields. One of them is equipped on the character right here that displays your clan emblem, as well as a variety of building placeables as well as banners that you can put around your base as well.
So you can see some banners up there. So you can Actually, one of the sickest things you can get is in the other corner.
Desculpa aqui no eco, galera. Já arrumei. Tava em eco aqui.
Very intimately, yeah. Yeah.
So that appears on your horse as well.
Yeah. So and then we'll go into it in a little bit also, but when someone with permissions to update the emblem for your clan updates it, it is automatically propagated across every surface that your clan owns that is able to display a banner, so you don't have to go back
de reclamar hoje,
para de reclamar, gente,
Deus.
or anything like that. And then there'll also be some permissions
Agora que o PS4 morre.
If you can only set it so a certain person or a person of a certain rank of a clan can edit the emblem, and the basic recruits cannot, for example, in order to prevent griefing.
Que vai mudar a cor agora aqui?
That we're working with, and so you'll be able to choose from a variety of emblems and backgrounds that they're preset. I saw a question in chat asking if you can import your own emblems. We won't be allowing that for this feature, just because that opens up a lot of unfortunate
adult content.
Yeah, it's just you just know people are going to use that to troll people, and it's that's just not something that we want, and we have the ability to it's just not something that we want for anyone really. And so we'll have a bunch of preset
fazer isso para as paredes, né? Para você mudar a cor das paredes.
As time goes on
as construções.
We'll also be adding a variety of emblems.
Será que vai valer para construção também?
Battle pass rewards.
Ou é só esse negócio? Acho que é só esse negócio.
Take the place of maybe some of those wall sprays that we've seen a lot of comments
Meu sonho mudar a cor de
just to help
parede.
increase the value of those. And then also, in case you're wondering, also you yourself. So as long as the person setting the emblem has a special
Ou você coloca qualquer coisa e muda a cor ali.
That's still displayed for everyone who has a thing. That's still if that gets updated.
Acho que vamos ter
everyone still gets to show it up,
emblemas.
even if Like if Dennis has a special emblem and I don't, or like he got like some emblem from somewhere else that I don't know myself, I still get to show it off on my thing because he set the banner and then it shows up on my stuff. So just in case that's a concern.
Everyone in the clan will see the same image no matter what it's set to.
Tomara que ele arrume as telas azul. As telas azul vão continuar azul. Não vai mudar a cor não.
So, and then we'll be adding more things that also, like, we also intend on adding more things that also show clan emblems, and again, we'll be showing off and adding more
agora só achei frescura.
in the future as well. Just trying to read through here. Let's see here. So
eu gostei se for hecatombe, se for esse negócio dos clãs que tem bandeira. Interessante.
For the first phase of the Age of War, we wanted to move into combat updates in a bit, but I also wanted to take a minute to see if there's any like additional questions that we can answer about.
Dá pra galera criar arte pro clã, pois é, eu acho legal isso. Dá aquela, né, vai mexer com a disputa interna dentro do jogo, né? Fazer a galera ter uma marca, né, vamos dizer assim. Chorar no quê? Por que chorar? Vamos poder ter nosso emblema personalizado, diz aqui o Vulcano. Show de bola. Mas é para puxar player, Serena, eu acho, não é?
Pretty much as far as I know, like all the stuff that we're going to be showing off here will also be available on SIPTA.
A galera gosta de briga, gosta de fofoca, gosta de discussão. Então, eles estão fazendo alguma coisa para começar a dar guerra. A guerra é isso, né? Um xinga o outro, um provoca o outro, e aí começa a encher os servidores, eu acho, né? A ideia que eu tô entendendo é isso.
Yeah, some things from the old age have changed. Some people, some new people are showing up.
Yeah. Some notable NPCs may, for example,
tipo
have
Big
taken a load off, lost a few pounds. Really trimmed some weight off their body,
É interessante seria eles resetar todos os servidores. Isso seria legal. Não vai puxar, Eu tô falando de gente nova. Os velhos estão saindo. Eu tô me aposentando já só esse ano. Quando?
Eventually, yes, but in Chapter 1, it's going to be anyone can move whatever's there.
So
but there's nothing to do with it really. The actual value in Chapter 1.
Yeah, you just want to collect because then you'll be able to use that.
Deu que tinha que dar, né?
Obviously, like when you're in your clan, like make sure you recruit people.
Podia fazer os NPCs poderem construir as suas próprias bases, atacar a base. Mas vai virar isso, Cláudio, com o tempo. Com o tempo vai virar isso. Porque o jogo vai evoluir para esse lado, não tem como. Qual que é o jogo que é mais sucesso no mundo? É LoL, né? Então eles vão puxar pro lado do LoL, não vai ter jeito.
That is a really neat idea, though, like the idea of like a trophy or something like that from like kills you've made from enemy players or something like that. Yeah, that is a cool idea. Thank you for that.
É que nem quando saiu os Battle Royale, né? Todo mundo começou a fazer. Eu não sei como é que eles não fizeram Battle Royale aqui no Conan ainda.
We actually have a plan right now in the third chapter to allow people to be able to make an alliance, but it's still going to require some play testing and stuff like that too. The whole idea is just that you'd be able to make a temporary alliance with another person or clan.
Rodrigo Gomes. E aí, Xará? Beleza, seja bem-vindo. Vai dar medo dos emblemas BR. Vai. Os caras viram emblema BR e não saem correndo.
What about, Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of comments about the PlayStation 5 specifically. I'm not personally aware
Tanta
of
produção
any details about that right now, and so
I'm
sorry we can't directly address that in today's
Nossa,
stream.
Serena.
Oh, something I will say though, something that we are aware of and we're working on a
tem
fix
mais
for that
coisa
should
que eles vão falar
in
dia.
this update is I know a lot of folks have talked about like disconnects.
Que decepção,
that is something
Serena.
that we have a fix in for in testing right now, and so yeah, well, we hope to have that out. Most likely with the
Sim, o Ark também saiu há pouco tempo para player.
But we do have a handle on it, so be assured. Yeah, we are aware that we know that's something that a lot of folks are worried about.
We know it's a while out, but the process to get updates out is lengthy, so it's about the soonest we really can.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like if it was just like Steam, for example, it would be one thing. But yeah, with their other partners in publishing,
Prado chegou aqui.
Like on consoles, there's a lot of additional steps and certifications that we have to do. So it's not as simple a process as like push button send update. As much as we'd love it to be, sadly. Okay, just wanted to move on. We'll take some more
servidores
questions towards the end, but we still have a lot of new stuff to cover.
Ninguém vai falar nada.
So I wanted to segue into combat and combat mechanics and combat changes.
This is all free update so far.
So everything shown right here is just it's going to come baked
in. Os disconnect, né,
refri?
Como é que fica?
We don't have a release date to share at this moment. However, it may go into. It's going to be on public beta extremely soon. We'll talk about
porque cada vez vem bug diferente que fica, né? E o disconnect é que vai ficar pelo jeito aí, porque eles não falam nada.
So all the features and such like that, like the new clan systems. Like the horde and emblem systems, all the combat stuff, and then all the future things we're talking about also, you won't. These are all going to be free updates. We're sticking to our commitment of like having these like major gameplay features be like the big free updates that you get, just like sorcery, for example. And then the what kind of like supports the development of that, and really funds the development of that is like the systems that you see, like the battle pass and the bazaar and such like that. So we hope you're loving like the free stuff that we're able to give you with this. So again, thank you for your support, because that's what allows us to put out
Pra mim tá rodando bem, tanto no PlayStation como no PC tá rodando bem. Agora os disconnect tem acontecido mesmo. Esse aí tem rolado mesmo.
So hopefully that addresses some of your concerns. And again, I know you're going to have a ton of questions, and there'll be plenty of time to ask them. There'll be places, we welcome you to drop comments on the forums as well, or on social media.
Prepare o console para 1 GB de atualização.
Please be constructive if you can. If you're really angry, just don't use that.
Galera, quem deixou o like, deixa o likezão aí.
Talking about making it personal.
Se inscreve se não é inscrito, deixa o follow, vai dar aquela força para nós.
Big changes to the combat paradigm within Conan Exiles.
Yeah, this might seem a little bit scattered because there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and I'll probably remember some of it while I'm talking about it.
65 pessoas assistindo agora no YouTube. Deixa o like aí, gente. Vamos chegar aos 60 likes, 70 likes aí. Dá uma força para nós.
We are working on AI in general. So we know that right now on servers with a decent number of players, it starts to break down pretty bad. Even if you're playing in single player, it's not always terribly interesting. So we're kind of coming in on both of those fronts, right? Like, let's try to make it fun to fight things to begin with, and then also try to fix those on servers. So
obrigado pelo follow, tio.
One of the biggest problems, one of the biggest issues that I had was players seem to have almost infinite stamina.
Parecendo que essa nova atualização vai ser pro norte. Pelo jeito é.
Might recognize this with like dagger spam, for instance, right? Like just spamming light attack on daggers. It auto targets your enemy and keeps going, and you can just spam it forever because it costs 8 stamina. So one of the first big things we did was increase the cost of stamina for attacks and increase the regeneration rate of stamina. So now there's a point where you can run out of stamina and get stamina back.
Já falaram uma solução para desconnect? Que beleza. Então vamos ver se vai funcionar, né?
Actually attack you. Before this update, we had a system in that would let AI just become invulnerable to stuns for a short period of time. And when you're playing the game, it feels like a bug because when you hit something, it should
Calma, Serena, dia vem esse para você, especial para você, tá bom?
So we took that system out completely and just made
Eles estão trabalhando na questão do desconect, olha, viu?
We also did a HP nerf across enemies, or for enemies across the board, which also makes your character feel stronger. And we increased the amount of damage that a lot of enemies
será que
do as well
acaba
to
o
increase their threat. So there's a little bit more tension in combat now than there was before. That's really the whole aim to all of the changes, is to increase like the ebb and flow of combat to make it feel like there are more tense moments.
Beleza, Lucas, obrigado aí.
You can breathe and kind of overcome an enemy. Yeah, let's see. The new 2-skull champion enemies. So for 1, 2, and 3-skull enemies, we also rebalanced their difficulty with the idea essentially that the number of skulls reflected the number of players we would think that you would need to fight them. So you can still kill the Red Mother, which is still 3 skulls by yourself. It'll just take longer. We're trying to reduce the amount of feeling of health sponge of enemies. Weapon classifications updated.
Yeah, so I mean, we are recategorizing a number of items to be classified with the unique, epic, and legendary distinctions.
Right. MPT chegou aqui, obrigado pela presença.
Legendary weapons are getting giga-buffed. We know legendary weapons. We've seen a lot of feedback from players saying that they just feel like
falou que hoje vão focar no sistema novo. Nos hecatombes e nas novidades no sistema de combate. Beleza.
Of being just extremely powerful weapons. However, they will not be craftable anymore, is my understanding.
They won't last forever.
Já tem mod, Jeffrey. Eita.
So yeah, legendary weapons will be like at the very top tier of like endgame items that you collect through adventuring. And then under that would be epic items, which are still craftable, really powerful, but you know, a legendary item of you know, a similar classification or similar tier or like level tier. A legendary weapon will or should be the intent is that it will outperform the legendary.
Oh, it will.
Yeah. Nice, cool. And then under that are uniques. Sorry.
It won't outperform.
Elzinho Araújo, obrigado pela presença.
No matter what, that's going to be the best thing you can get.
Cool.
Não vai ter mapa novo, não, né?
You know, whenever we play test, we found ourselves going into camps a lot and seeing, you know,
pelo menos até agora não vi falar.
There was a lot of stuff to find, but we never really found anything interesting in those chests. So in the second chapter, there will become a really big revamp to the amount of like the type of items that you find in a chest. We have plans like we never
Carlos Oliveira, obrigado pela presença, Carlos. Seja muito bem-vindo. Chegando agora. Boa tarde. Mapa novo até agora não vi falar não. Estão trabalhando na inteligência artificial dos NPCs, melhorando a inteligência. Vícios, obrigado pela presença, seja muito bem-vindo. Boa tarde, Vícios.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that. You know, I've said it a couple times now.
Yeah, and then like unique weapons are still strong, but like they themselves will still be
no drop não falaram ainda, né, galera? Eu não vi nada sobre o drop
ainda. But they'll still be really good. Like if you get one, like it'll carry you for a while, for sure.
Yeah, and there's 5 total tiers of weapons.
Vão nerfar as adagas.
And then working yourself from, you know, stone to iron to you know, we have a section that's like
the steel stuff.
Well, there's like steel, and then there's like all rare stuff.
Oh yeah, I saw okay, got it.
We put like Kari steel and obsidian and anything that's just not like basic steel, basically like in its own tier, and they're called like rare metal or rare ore weapons, and they're just a bit under legendary. But also the last bullet point on Andy's slide is durability now has to be managed. I think I've spilled the beans several times on stream that one of our design guidelines for Exiles is that nothing is permanent, and you know, you should basically always have to work to maintain and keep things up so that, you know, the world is pushing back against you. And with weapons right now, it's not really the case, because you can get or build one weapon and keep that weapon forever just by repairing it over and over again. So in this update, there will be a bit of a rebalance there as well, where when you repair an item, it will lose its maximum durability. You know, depending on the quality of repair kit you use, that durability may be more or less, but you will have to use repair kits to repair things, and you won't be able to keep those items forever because of that. This is a big thing, especially for legendaries, because like we want you to explore in the world. We want you to leave your base and go out and get something cool.
As armas lendárias vão ficar mais poderosas. Eita.
And, you know, use it whenever you feel like it's a good situation. So I know that might sound very scary.
A espada de Kron vai voltar a ser a espada de Kron, será?
It's not. You know, if you guys are familiar with playing Breath of the Wild, some weapons in that game might break very quickly.
Yeah, we're not going to have...
We're not trying to copy it.
Yeah. We're not going to have weapons break in 3 hits, don't worry.
Yeah, your things will last long, even with the worst repair kits, but they will not last forever.
Yeah, and then also as a side point also, legendary repair kits are being renamed to Grandmaster repair kits to avoid any confusion with like legendary kits and legendary weapons. And then also as a side point, any journey steps that previously required you to craft a legendary item will be changed to just require an epic weapon of a similar type instead, so that shouldn't block you as well. And in case we missed anything, like obviously, like please let us know.
Estão falando das armas aí, galera, que tá nerfando,
so, yeah, obviously, like this sounds kind of scary, but we're hoping that and we might be able to kind of show an example of kind of what that might look like, but don't worry. Like once you get your hands on it, we're hoping that
algumas armas vão ficar boas, outras ruins.
Obviously, like please leave your feedback, like when you do.
Alguns vão ser mais fortes, umas mais fracas.
Yeah, same with the stamina changes, you know. I don't know if we didn't really show
Continua
it off yet,
precisando da chave mestra para achar aí nos baús.
A lot more stamina now, but the flip side of the coin is your stamina comes back much faster.
Yes.
So, you know, you really find yourself doing little strings of combos and then waiting a second, giving some breathing room, and then doing some more. So I have a character right now that isn't, you know, they have some grit. I think it's coming from these, from these armor pieces. They have a little extra stamina. So they don't have the base 100 stamina, and I'll just give a couple examples of some weapons. So I think this is a one-handed sword, not a short sword. It is a short sword. So a short sword, basically the rule is like the smaller the weapon, the less stamina it costs to swing in general, and it should feel very natural. So when I use light attacks with this sword, you can see it's taking about 20, maybe a little less, like 19 stamina or something like that. And then when I use heavy attacks, the heavy attacks are much more costly. They're taking more, you know, like the other ones are like 15 and these are like 20, basically.
Yeah, you'll see across the board. Yeah.
Josiboy chegou aqui. E aí, Josiboy, obrigado pela presença.
Previously, I think weapon attacks cost between 3 and 9 stamina, and then across the board they'll cost from 10 to up to 40 stamina per swing. But on the same token, you'll also notice that your stamina, like the delay before stamina starts regenerating, is like almost instant. So previously it used to be like up to like almost 3 seconds. Yeah, like almost 3 seconds before your stamina starts to regenerate, and now it's 0.1 seconds across, or
it's 0.1.
Yeah, 0.1 seconds.
The lowest we can set it.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so it's as close to instant as you can possibly make it within like our engine. So you're spending your stamina a lot faster, but you're regaining it much faster as well. And so you get this overhaul to like stamina management. I think the idea is to create a more like back and forth flow to combat. Where like dodging and blocking is more important, and especially like now that enemies aren't getting like they don't become immune to the hit stun. If you land like good hits in, like you create more openings, etc. And in addition to that, all heavy attacks for all weapons across the board, I believe, are going to do more damage and will apply some sort of secondary effect on hit, whether that be like cripple or sunder or bleed, etc. So weapon types previously that didn't have apply debuffs or whatever on a heavy attack will now have them. It's like a weapon per weapon basis on like what gets what.
Funcom, obrigado pela presença.
Yeah, and that's really an effort to reduce confusion as well, because
se for isso é muito bom, né? Que as armas lendárias têm que ter, tem que ser valorizado mesmo, né? Porque estão meio esquecidas já, né?
And a two-handed axe, you're not going to be able to get the final hit in, right? So just making the status effect apply on every heavy attack is a lot less confusing, and it's easier to get them out. Just feels better across the board.
Lendário é lendário, né? Sempre tem que ser mais forte, né? Mais útil.
This is the two-handed mace.
Mais importante.
So those attacks are significantly more costly. I think it's something in the ballpark of like 45 stamina.
Yeah, it drains a ton of stamina. Yeah, but ideally also like now also you want to actually put some points in
gastam mais estamina, mas ela volta mais rápido. Acho que é isso que eles estão fazendo ali, né? Daniel Dias, obrigado pela presença, salve. Hércules Alves chegou aqui também. Bem-vindo. Boa tarde. Wanderson Araújo, salve, como é que tá aí? Bem-vindo.
And time your swings better instead of just like kind of sitting there and hoping to face tank.
Parece que a gameplay do gamer vai dar uma melhorada.
Yeah, speaking of that too, we're also starting to work now on the ability to rotate while you're performing an attack. So I'll try to make this not too nerdy, but there's a certain window of time after you commit to an attack that you'll be able to turn your character to continue targeting while you're swinging. Right now, one of the things that feels worst in combat is when an enemy is walking kind of near you or past you, and you swing, and you were aimed at them whenever you started the attack, but then they just kind of sauntered past you, and then you miss. So now you'll be able to keep tracking that target and hit it as well. It's not going to be like an aimbot, like it's not a guaranteed
right, yeah.
But it's like if I do this heavy attack, when he's winding back, until he actually brings that hammer down, I can re-aim the attack.
Yeah. So like the idea there is to bring down just make it feel more fluid and less clunky, relatively speaking, considering you're wielding a giant hammer or axe.
Yeah.
And then someone in chat also made a comment about it, but the heavy attacks from this mace, for example, might cost a ton of stamina, but I believe we're also substantially increasing the damage of heavy attacks for most things.
Yeah, in chapter 1 there are some heavy attack buffs, but in chapter 2 that's when you'll see it hit full force.
I think sorry.
I was just gonna say we want to make it feel like it was worth the stamina cost that you paid for it.
Yeah. And again, in play testing, obviously we want your feedback on it. So if you really feel like especially in testing, if you feel like it's just not worth it, please let us know, because we can change that before it goes live. But yeah, across the board, heavy attacks will probably, depending on the weapon, will probably do between 5 and up to 20% more damage, depending on the weapon type.
Tá preto ainda.
Which is exciting. And then a bunch of other.
Acho que eu bati aqui no teclado e mudou a tela.
And I think change to shield durability and a couple things. Tons of things in the patch notes. And of course, also, since you were also talking about a little bit of the extra wiggle room for targeting, we're also adding some updates to how targeting functions as well. I think outside of this space there should be some elephants already that you can just run out and go find. But I know a lot of folks have okay. I mean, you can just. I think it's right out the door. Okay. But we know that something that a lot of folks have mentioned is something I personally have also run into, is when you're facing off against really large enemies like a dragon or a mammoth, might be on the other side. It just locks onto their one point, and you're just kind of sitting there struggling to have the camera follow along, and people with motion sickness issues also kind of have issues with that. And it's just I don't want to just stare at. Anyway, you all know the pain.
Josimar chegou aqui, obrigado pela presença, Josimar.
Target anchor lock points now on for example, on all the mammoth's legs. So now instead of desperately trying to target some anomalous blob inside their body, you can actually target their legs.
Caraca, já aconteceu comigo isso, Josimar, uma coisa parecida também.
Cursor, you can lock onto each individual point, which. When you're not getting your ass trampled by mammoths, should at least help with being able to follow along combat, or if you want to stick to their butt and do backstabs, it should be a little bit easier to follow along.
Yeah, we're trying to put those on, right now they're on things like frost giants, dragons, mammoths, so anything that's really big, where you typically find yourself aiming way high.
Anderson, e aí, amigão, como é que tá aí? Bem-vindo.
Or sorry, when you aim at an enemy, your character tries to swing at the lock-on point. So right here they swing really high, but right here they swing really low. So it's a lot easier to actually hit them now.
Para de reclamar, Serena. Meu Deus do céu. O mesmo mapa, o mesmo jogo.
Sorry, I'm just watching this man with yakety sax your horse. Sorry.
Yeah, nada tá bom, Cê.
So there are concerns. Sorry, I'm going to try speaking louder.
Vai ficar legal agora.
Yeah. So Nicole's in the back over here, just reading chat and relaying questions to us.
There are concerns with these stamina changes in regards to sorcerers and corruption.
Right. Yeah, I did see that. Max corrupted sorcerers will have a lot less stamina to work with, and yeah.
You pretty much have to
fale mal do meu coninha, gente do céu.
Using sorcery like that and still fighting in combat without your followers doing it for you. we still might make some changes here. I'm not totally sure yet. I did playtest several days recently playing a maxed out corruption build with the stamina changes, and you have to select, an appropriate weapon and probably use some stamina gear.
Nenhuma notícia, MPP.
And you wear clothing with stamina.
Will chegou aqui, obrigado pela presença, Will.
And I think the players, even regardless of having corruption or not, will find that to be the case. So, if you still feel like, hey, I don't have enough grit and I want more, you can still max your grit out, wear stamina gear, and you'll have, just as easy a time as now. But that's that was a choice you made. You chose to wear that.
Verdade, Anderson.
Because you wanted more stamina.
Reclamamos, e estamos aqui jogando, né? Bem doido.
Right now.
I just have Yakety Sax playing on repeat right now, just watching these wolves chase this poor horse around.
Like, sir.
Oliveira DW chegou aqui, obrigado pela presença. O Bazar.
As an aside, also I should say,
vem como?
Creatures like wolves and such like that across the board also are going to be much dead. Like they have lower health across the board, but deal more damage to you. And so like a pack of wolves were already not super easy to fight, but when I was testing these things out at this base, I ran into that pack of wolves outside and immediately got slaughtered, like instantly. I was like, oh shit.
Well, I can speak a little bit more to that too, because that's also kind of in our plans, going forward. We're working on some more systems that we think will come in the second chapter that will limit the number of enemies that attack you simultaneously. As we test and as we go through camps and play with the game in a different way than we've played with it before, we find that like fighting a stream of enemies is really the most fun. So we're going to try to have enemies basically manage themselves in a way that they don't come at you necessarily one at a time, but it might be 2 or 3 at a time at most. Well, anyone else that would be engaging with you is kind of just background noise, like taunting in the distance. And that actually might be a good segue to talk about camps as well.
Yeah.
So we've done a pass on all of the camps in Exile Lands and in SIPTA. And we've kind of changed the way enemy senses work. Basically, actually, hold on. I'll give you guys the best example because this is the most pleasing version of it. I'm just going to turn God mode on so you can...
Oh yeah, and please don't worry about the logo still saying Age of Sorcery. This is still
all the UIs and stuff are.
Most of it is. So you'll see some of this menu stuff is new. This is all stuff that we've been working on also.
Some of it's probably going to be replaced as well. It was our first pass.
Yeah. So again, not everything shown here is not necessarily representative of like the final product.
Oh yeah, Normal Sky is back. We'll talk more about that stuff when we do the quality of life stuff as well, though. But here's the cool thing. So now, whenever I run up to New Azagarth, I aggro these guys out front, and that's it. There's not going to be like 500 other guys coming from inside.
Oh my god.
Even this guy, like, look, I'm this close right now, and he doesn't even want to murder me. So yeah, we've kind of reduced the senses on a lot of stuff, and the cry for help on a lot of stuff. So you don't just pull an entire huge place at once.
For those that really enjoyed that, you still can Leroy Jenkins if you really want to, but yeah, for most folks, like the call for help, like aggro radius on like allies or allied enemies was pretty huge, and it was really easy to just get mobbed really fast. Yeah,
I would be swarmed by this.
Yeah, the whole village would be aggroed on you. You'd die instantly. So yeah, like we wanted to limit the number of people that you're fighting all at once because now combat is balanced around, you fighting 1 or 2 people at most. Otherwise, it becomes pretty tough actually, or you just have to disengage and run and hope that you can take them off one by one, or however you want to do it.
Yeah. To me, it feels really good. Whenever you come in and clear one of these camps out, it feels like you're making progress through the camp. It doesn't feel like you're just getting chased by a ton of guys. And we've updated leeching rules too, so enemies won't chase you nearly as far as they used to in most cases. There's a lot going into the combat changes, and that's why I say, it's going to be hard for me to even remember everything off the cuff because there's so many little things here and there.
Yeah, and I see some people in chat also talking about like, well, what about, how am I going to distribute your points? That's kind of up to you. I think it's reasonable to say and expect that you know, the sort of like the meta, to use that term, will change with each chapter, with each age. Like, I think it's reasonable to expect that some paradigm changes will come up, and we will ask you to like assess your strategy or your build and come up with new things. Yeah, like, you know, keeps things different. Yeah.
Look, you can't have both. You can't complain about the meta being stale and complain when we change things.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can always let us know. But
you can complain. It might not be 100% valid.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, I mean, it's always valid.
Sure, it's valid for you.
But yeah. So like, we have to pick and choose, and so this is the direction that we want to go with, and you know, we look forward to the discussion and the builds that end up coming up, because
ultimately it's about making it fun. You know,
yeah, like
we want making the moment-to-moment gameplay. Really.
Yeah. Like, ultimately, we want to rule of cool it. So like, if it's fun, like, that's the most important thing. And obviously, like, fun is also a subjective thing. So we want to hear what you guys say.
You play games for fun?
No.
Not because you hate yourself?
No. I mean, I already hate myself, but you know, yeah, that's why I play online.
Nothing to do with the game.
Oh yeah. That's a corollary. That's totally fine. Oh, Nicole. Okay. So yeah, that is. Sorry, had a little brain fart. I'm losing myself here really quick. Let's see. Going over some of my notes. Do we have any other questions from chat really quick? I like you, Andy. Thanks. Thanks, bud. You need a little self-love in your life. You know, that's something that's been, you know, it's an ongoing process, right? Like, self-care and self-love are all very, like, nebulous and sometimes difficult to accomplish tasks, especially if you have poor executive function like I do. So shout-outs to all my depressed gamers out there. Let's go. Let's go.
We'll announce the dates at the end.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, we got just updated clarification on dates. But yeah, we'll talk about it in just a sec.
There's a good question. Will you fix double jump Goomba builds? Yes, actually. We have a change going into this update that'll come in Chapter 1 that changes it from requiring one person standing on a head to two people standing on a head. So you really have to coordinate to get the achievement now, but it will stop people from, unless it's like a teleporter squash, which could still happen, it's going to be a lot harder to Goomba people.
Do you mind if I just like funk around?
You can do absolutely anything you want. Do you want to change seats? I just want to fight.
Nah, that's fine. Okay. We don't have to do anything crazy like that. I just want to show people how bad I am at this game. Just because also we're just standing here, I just want to move around a little bit. So while we're taking some questions, I'm just going to have some gameplay. Maybe I should just like build some blocks and jump over them and just have that be the entire stream.
What about stamina when climbing?
Pretty much unchanged. Climbing, sprinting. The jump, we mentioned jump earlier. Jump's not a ton more expensive anyway. Like, Andy, if you do it right now, I think it's like 10 stamina. Yeah, it's 8.
Yeah, it's 8 stamina right now, but I think if I had double jump, it increases.
Well, there was no charge for the second jump before.
Oh, that's right.
So now the second jump costs stamina as well.
So you might also see the build that I also have here is a max agility build, because I found that with the changes, personal suggestion, obviously we're not telling you how to play, but I really like rolling thrust for reasons you can probably imagine. If you're not familiar with it, after your roll, your next attack doesn't cost stamina and has increased armor penetration. So it's super fun. I really like it. So that's kind of what we mean by, like, you know, the value of certain talents or the way you want to align your talents is going to be different. And we're hoping to, just shake things up a bit.
Yeah.
Will modders be able to mod the new clan features?
That was part of what I requested for people to be able to add emblems. I'm not 100% sure if that is the case or not right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. What was the question?
Will modders be able to mod the clan features?
Oh, yeah. So will modders be able to mod clan features? Right.
Yeah. I hope so. I don't have a 100% definite answer right now, but I think it should be the case. With any new features that we add, we try to make the mod accessible. And that was one that right off the bat, in the initial spec sheet I gave the team, I was like, I would like modders to be able to add their own. So we'll have to follow up on that, make sure it happened.
Will weapons be getting new move sets?
New movesets, weapons?
We don't have. I don't think there's any new movesets in this update. A lot of the stuff that we're doing is with combat changes, and especially with AI, is also intended to let us kind of make a baseline for the combat to be designed with better interplay. So we might see some changes come to specific attack animations or potentially new animation sets for weapons, depending on how well that attack or weapon is doing with the standard for AI. They'll kind of dictate the way a player plays.
Oh, actually, while we're doing this really quick, I think this is also a good time to just show off some of the new visuals and sets that we might be able to, we're adding to the game as well. Because, yeah, we can show off some of the new Battle Pass stuff coming up. Because obviously, like, with the new age, with the new chapters comes new Battle Pass, new items in the Bazaar. We can still take questions while I show some of this stuff off.
And also keep in mind, work in progress.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to go ahead and announce the dates. The blog is out, so.
Okay, cool, yeah. So, just so y'all know, the public beta for Age of War is available tomorrow, May 23rd. You can visit our forums to find out details on how to access it. It just involves installing a separate like public beta client from Steam. You can also type, I believe, !beta to get a link to the forum. That's only for you in Twitch. If you're watching a recording, you just go to forums.funcom.com, head over there, check things out. And then Age of War itself is set to launch June 22nd, 2023. Ba-bum.
Someone said, "Fix the purge are broken" in chat. Where you been, dude?
Oh.
That's a huge part of what we just revealed. We're doing the purge.
So yeah, the first level reward is this Turanian bandit armor, which is what we're wearing on our character right now, and a special clan emblem. And so yeah, we're adding some clan emblems and other things to the battle pass as well. And of course, new emotes. New placeables and building pieces, yes.
That's actually a new feature as well.
Weapon emotes, that's right. Yeah.
We missed an entire feature, but yeah, we're changing the emote system to work in a way that they can be contextualized. So if you have a sword in your hand, you can do a sword emote. So, you know, if you have the right emote and the right weapon, weapon emotes.
So let's see if I can do, this is a nice two-handed sword. Let's see, oops.
There are no plans for mods on consoles at this time.
It's not on our roadmap right now.
Wait, what?
I think that.
Repeat the question. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Someone asked about mods on consoles. It's not on our roadmap right now, so it definitely won't happen during the Age of War.
Why can't I?
It's a thing that we all would love to do because we all recognize the value that mods brings Exiles.
Do I have weapon emotes involved? Actually, hold on. Sorry.
But it's a big task, and I'm not sure when it'll happen, but we would like it to.
And then with this update, there's also going to be a lot of bug fixes. Like, it's not just new features.
Absolutely.
Of course, yeah. Sorry, just a second here. I'm getting messages from folks going, okay, what are you doing? We are still evaluating the possibilities, but yeah, because of the technical limitations in RAM and stuff like that, it's just really tough.
Yeah, memory is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Exiles uses a lot of memory because it has a lot of high definition materials and textures, and mods cost memory. So
yeah. Oops.
Lots of questions on character transfers.
Yeah? I don't, well, there's not really a whole lot we can go into about that, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Wait, where are they listed? Do I have it learned? I think the command that I was given is not correct. Sorry. Anyway, we'll have new weapon emotes, so like the shield, for example, will have like a shield bash animation. If you're holding your two-handed sword, you put him into like a guardian stance like this, like a sentinel. Apologies for that. We'll definitely be able to show them off at a later time.
Is this? Did you get that?
Yeah, that should be set to true. I just don't think I've learned it, and the command that I had for it is not working, unfortunately. Excuse me, but that's okay. So yeah, we'll have like we have weapon emotes planned for other weapons as well, like a spear training emote. I think a couple other things as well that are be available there. And so you'll notice that a lot of the things that we have are still like very, let's see, Stygian themed, because some, Conan and Hyborian Age lore masters may recall the Stygians are a powerful force within the land, and well, they see an opportunity, and so we may see lots of them come by, or.
Yep, and that'll play into the second and third chapters of this age, and it's not really. I mean, at this point, if you're not connecting the dots, the Stygians are coming to the exiled lands, in more force than they're currently there. They're going to set up a fortress in the exiled lands, and they're going to start to rake some cash into it.
And it's time. They're going to build up, so it's time to build up to fight back.
Yep.
So yeah, sorry about not being able to show the whipping emotes currently, but there's an example of a 2D image of what you can expect it to look like. So we're excited to have this, and then later on, we want to add more emotes, including like potentially like paired emotes, for example, or like maybe even fatality animations.
That might be part of chapter 3. Yeah.
Maybe those are the things that's on like our stretch goals for like Age of Wars.
No, fatalities are in the plan for chapter 3. Awesome. Yeah, so when you kill guys, it's not just going to be the incredible crash dummy explosion of limbs,
just body parts everywhere.
Yeah, there'll be a chance for you to really dismember them.
Yeah, and of course like having two character models like choreographed and play an animation together is actually kind of a more complicated of a technical achievement than you might imagine, so the more work goes into it than you might think. Okay, we'll give that a shot. Let's see here. All right. Well, so okay, for those of you messaging us over Slack, when I have a weapon out and I hold the wheel thing down, I just don't get any option for anything, and I don't think I actually have the emotes learned. So that's okay. It's okay. We'll show it off at another time.
The beta is only for PC.
Yes. So sorry. Yeah. So the beta is only available for PC, but of course the Age of War update will be available on all platforms that Conan Exiles is available on. So like that would be on PC, that would be on Xbox and PlayStation. And again, like the update itself will be free. You don't have to pay for like the new features or anything like that. So yeah, the update will be available for all platforms. Don't you worry. But yeah, the testing is only available on Steam through the public beta client.
Quality of life stuff?
Quality of life stuff, yes.
Because I see people asking questions.
Yeah.
Which we will talk about.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so we got through the target lock improvements.
Yes.
Part of what I didn't really talk about with the target lock improvements too is we're adjusting where the actual camera is and where your character appears on screen as well. So that should just feel a lot more nicer and natural as well whenever you're actually locked onto a target.
So yeah, what other quality of life stuff did we want to go over? Because I know some of the spells that we had, like some of the sorcery spells, are going to be updated to be like toggles, for example. So like find resources, and Wisp will, instead of being a duration-based buff effect, you just turn it on and then you cast it again to turn it off, so it just stays with you indefinitely until you recast it.
We also think we fixed the thrall decay timer. So whenever you log into a server, it won't just be a bunch of floating thralls in the world. They should actually disappear when they're supposed to. That's good quality of life improvement.
Yeah, and then updates to darkness and lighting.
Oh, yeah, that one's super fun. And we can kind of actually show that one too. If you want to swap over to game mode real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is the middle of the night.
Just a note, when you do swap, it kind of...
Yeah, there's a weird sound thing I noticed. Yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know.
So, we don't have the Blood Moon Eclipse anymore. Metcamosis and Karak are no longer warring in the exiled lands the way they were, so everything's kind of back to normal. But you might notice you can actually see a little more as well. Right now it's the dead of night, about 30 feet or so in front of my character. You can see it's just completely black shadows, but as I go up to them, you can see. So, we've adjusted the way lighting works and added a little system in to let you be able to see more in your immediate proximity at night, so you're never going to be stuck in the absolute dead of night again. You'll always be able to see a small area around yourself.
Now, obviously, like this is still super dark, but like it's not like some of you.
It's not pitch black.
Nighttime in exiled lands, without the eclipse, has been a pretty brutal affair in my experience. So yeah, having a little bit of like a minimum light radius around you, so you can just see in front of you, is really nice. And then of course, like torches are still available.
Yeah, the torch is still better.
Yeah. Let's see. Of course, yeah, the new diving animation. We saw a little bit of that. Yep. We can. You can Scrooge McDuck if you really want to, and then. Of course, like it works better if you're high diving off of that, or I guess you can slow fall and just like perpetually just stay in that animation forever. Other fixes and quality of life things like chicken dance, actually counting for challenges, leaving and entering dungeons won't make will now make grass behave correctly, and then a few updated drop equipment on death server options as well. Bonk. Aw, nice.
That didn't kill me? New creative mode.
Boo.
I tried to turn it off before I hit the ground.
So you just explode, hell yeah. Very good. So I think we can take a few more questions from chat, and then I think then we must bid adieu because we must get on to things.
Lots of people asking about new map stuff at all, or
no new maps right now. Yeah, people asking about new maps. We're not doing a new map right now. Age of Amazon was in fact a joke. I am not so negligent that I would leave an entire presentation up on both screens that shows what the next age would be, and I would certainly not write my presentation in papyrus.
The classic font.
But yeah, I mean, stay tuned. New dungeons and new maps are things that we can and may do in the future. So if Age of War doesn't tickle your fancy, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Because sure you'll be excited about what comes after that.
Yeah, because there'll be new ages after Age of War also. So because we're committed now to advancing the tale of the exiled lands and changing things as we move forward. So yeah, there'll be some small changes on the exiled lands when Age of War launches as well. Obviously, apart from the Eclipse not being there, and then we'll be making maybe some other little things here and there as well. Oh, and then new armor sets coming with the update as well. I believe this is a Bazaar item, but this is like a Stygian soldier outfit. Some of you who have been playing Conan games for a while may recognize this as the armor that was shown in some of the old Age of Conan key art. And we're happy to finally have it realized in the glory of Unreal here.
Someone asked if the Karak dungeon would go away. Yeah, that'll still be there.
Yep.
It's the same as before. You enter the same way and everything. There just might be a little bit of a mess when you get there.
What about the Catan caravans?
Those were temporary content. All of the Conan Exiles, save for a few that you might find straggling in the exiled lands, will be gone.
Yeah, they're kind of in they'll be kind of scattered around here and there. I won't say anything.
Yeah. Any PvP news? Kind of. One of the things we will be doing probably in Chapter 2, I think, is revamping trebuchets as well. So the way that you siege people or attack other players might change a bit. There is that. Toying with some other more extreme stuff, but I'm not sure if it will make it into production or not, so I'm not going to tease anyone with it.
Yeah. Is the beacon for Mecha Moses' area going to be the same? No,
the beacon is gone. That was a result of the ritual he was conducting, and if you show up there, you might see why it's not there anymore.
Yep. There might be something might have happened. So yeah,
battering rams. There should be a battering ram in Chapter 2, like a handheld one. We wanted to do a full-on AI pushed cart version of it, but I think we just simply don't have time to put that together. So we'll do one that you can break down doors by hand. We'll probably also consider trying to do a carry animation, like that same carry animation for the chests, putting an explosive jar in enemies' hands. So if they're part of the purge wave, they come at you and you can shoot the barrel, the jar from far away and blow them all up.
Scrub brush, excellent,
sick.
Was the princess saved?
Find out.
Yeah, I mean you can check tomorrow.
Yeah, right. You'll be able to see for yourself when this goes live tomorrow. I don't have an exact time of when it will be live, but please stay tuned on the forums or on social media, on Twitter and Facebook. You can see or go follow us here. I don't know if my finger will get cut off, but yeah, go follow us here at Conan Exiles on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for all the latest updates on when public beta will be live for Age of War.
I didn't get to wear the sickest set for everybody yet.
There are no plans right now for an official server wipe.
No server wipes.
No, yeah.
We'll pretty much never wipe servers unless we really, 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 really have to. Taking away people's progress in the game is the #1 fastest way to make them stop playing the game. So we will do everything in our power to prevent that from happening.
Yeah. This is a Veneer Shaman armor set that will also be, I can't remember if that's a Battle Pass or Bazaar item, but that will be a vanity set available with the update as well.
Mounts, there will be a new mount coming, but I'm not going to say what it is yet.
Some of you probably have correctly
People
guessed.
have mentioned it in chat already.
Yeah, but we're not going to confirm what it is.
Imps. It's the imps.
It's my finally Gundams. So you can hear Frederick Malmberg just like teleporting behind me, and I was like, no, don't. Okay, and we could sit here and talk and show off all this stuff like pretty much all day, but we do have to get going shortly. So I know there's a ton of questions in chat. I know tons of folks will have more questions as they come up, especially when the testing period goes live. Please stay tuned for tomorrow when the Age of War Chapter 1 update becomes available for beta testing. And we'll keep you updated on like any changes or anything that comes up during that test, and look forward to a new age dawning over the exiled lands on June 22nd.
Yep, public beta tomorrow.
And so again, I think if you type, beta, !beta in chat, I think Nightbot should have a thing that has a link to the public test forum. So go ahead and bookmark that in preparation for tomorrow. We'll put a little blast out on social media announcing when it's live. And you guys can take a first look and take the first steps into the next age of Conan Exiles. Woo! So I think that actually about wraps it up. Any last housekeeping things? I'm going to look over here. Let's see. Also keep an eye out for. Sorry. So we have a question from internally on Slack about some of the QL stuff. One of the changes that we're updating is like a drop equipment on death or different drop equipment on death options. To go into them specifically, there are now options for lose nothing on death. Setting 0, lose everything on death, which is 1 by default, or lose just backpack inventory on death. So you don't just get completely wiped on death. So you just drop like.
You keep what's on your hotbar and your armor, I think, and then your actual backpack gets dumped out.
Yeah. So that hopefully allows for like extra granularity for like server admins or private server admins to make it just like a good middle ground between all or nothing. So hopefully that helps kind of enable like still like some consequences for dying, for example, on your private servers, but like again, not all or nothing. Thanks for bringing that up. Appreciate it.
Yep.
And then so other housekeeping things again. So disconnect issues will be resolved, or we have a fix planned in the Age of War update. Twitch drops. So yeah, we did have an issue with the Rocknose figurine Twitch drop, which is supposed to be the third Twitch drop campaign that we're running. There was an issue with the actual like placeable item in game, so we did postpone the campaign for that specific item. I don't have details off the cuff on if and or when that will be run again, but we will have we'll have other campaigns in the future as well. So again, just like keep an eye out on our social media, and I think you might even be able to see on like upcoming campaigns on like the Twitch website. I can't remember exactly where you find that, but we'll have that. And yeah, we're sorry for anyone that like was confused by the Rocknose figurine or any streamers that we're hoping to be able to help use that to help grow their stream a little bit. So yeah, we do apologize for that. And speaking of streamers and content creators, of course, also we want to give a very special thank you to Whack, Jordy, Kaya on Faya, and Seema for sharing some exclusive teasers across streaming and showing it off on their channels. If you haven't already, yes, these are some excellent folks within our community. We're really grateful to have them and have so many other folks just like really excited to sink their teeth into the game. So again, yeah, special thanks to those 4 and all our other content creators, and we'll be in touch with everyone as well for future collab projects and such too.
It is so fun to watch everyone speculate about what.
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, when Kaya's teaser came out and the thumbnail turned into Age of the Amazon, I was like. Like when I posted the preview up on our forums, I was like, what is this thumbnail guy? I was like, oh no. And then also, for those who are looking on our forums as well, stay tuned also for winners for our Mystic Masterpieces art contest, which we ran and we finished up. We're still reviewing our entries and casting our final votes, and we'll have final announcements by the end of May. And then previously, when we were announcing the contest, we were like, you'll get the next chapter's content or battle pass. This is before we announced Age of War, so now we can just say you're going to get the Age of War Chapter 1 battle pass. If you won. So there's that. I think that's about it. I think that's it. Hell yeah.
Once you get to patch notes, there's so much stuff in the patch notes. And a lot of it at first glance will probably seem scary too, but I think once you get your hands on it and you actually get in game and play it, it's all really
like just like we explained just like we had gone over on stream here, like we know like a lot of the stam changes and the durability changes like sound really scary on paper, but we're we're confident and hopeful that you'll find it A, not scary, and actually in fact B, ideally fun when you do actually get your hands on it. But again, please let us know. Any final thoughts, friend?
Well, nope. I'm just really excited.
Yeah, look at us. We did it. We did it. This is.
I know as soon as we leave this room, I'm gonna think of like 5.
Vai ser a era do God of War.
Yeah, as soon as that door opens and I come out, I'm just gonna like flop over and fall on my face on the floor because I'm just like, oh, finally, at last. I do a lot of streams, but I still get really nervous whenever we stream and talk about stuff, and especially on
Esse Amazon for novo mapa,
like this,
pode ser, né?
Talking about the next like story arc and progression arc for Conan is pretty
I
nerve-wracking.
get to hear him talk, so it's like zero stress.
Yeah.
He has to actually control the show.
Yeah, a lot of I don't know. I just get really in my head. I don't know how some of y'all that do it every day do it. A lot of respect to you. I guess that's it, right? Like you do it every day and you just get used to it. And I'm just really anxious.
Mas não vai ter esse negócio da Amazon?
Thank you all so much for joining us on this very special episode. Again, public beta for Age of War begins tomorrow. Full launch for Age of War begins June 22nd. Head to our forums. Let us know what you think. Tell us what your favorite kind of pizza toppings are.
Yep.
My name's Andy. This is Dennis. Say hi to Nicole. Come on over here. Come on over here. Just come on over here.
Okay.
This is the
Vou
lovely.
aposentar o Conan. Eu também tô pensando.
The lovely
Acho que é só
Nicole,
esse ano de Conan.
my partner in crime here in the NC community team, has been back here helping talk to chat and relay messages from our Slack channels and chat. So thank you, Nicole.
Esqueça o novo mapa.
And lots of love to you for tuning in, watching us, supporting us, playing Conan Exiles. Till next time, friends. Adios and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Amazing, Johnny.
É isso, galera. Tá aí.
See? Maybe? Yeah.
Fim de papo, é isso, né? Thank you. É isso.
There.
Ou não? Pera.
Good job, guys.
Agora sim. Fim de jogo, fim de papo, galera. Então é isso aí, as novidades. Tá aí as novidades aí pra vocês, né? As novidades aí, nada de muito bom, né? Opa, chegou a travar aqui. É isso aí, ó, que vocês viram aí, né? Vai dar pra dar mergulhão. Não vi nada de interessante, diz aqui. E aí, o que vocês acharam do novo passe, galera? Novo passe. A nova atualização, quer dizer. Legal, né? Visionário XP, obrigado. Quais são as novidades? Vai mudar alguma coisa sobre o combate? As armas vai ter menos estamina, gastar mais estamina. Agora você vai poder usar um emblema no teu clã. Você pode mudar as cores do, né? A hecatombe vai ser mais forte, que eu entendi. Das moedas eu não entendi direito ali, né? O uso das moedas, mas também tem essa questão das moedas de ouro ali, né? O que mais? Vamos falando aí, galera. Eu não lembro de tudo. Freak chegou aqui. Aí, Freak, beleza? Vamos ver o que realmente acontecerá com as hecatombes. Eu tô bem ansioso, animado para essa coisa das hecatombes, né? Vamos ver o que vai dar. Mosquitão chegou aqui. Boa tarde, Mosquitão. E aí? Arnaldo também chegou aqui na Twitch. Obrigado pela presença. Imperador Gamers. E aí, beleza, Imperador? Seja muito bem-vindo. É... 22 de junho começa a Era da Guerra. Olha, 22 de junho. Beleza? Não sei se vocês escutaram. Eu não escutei aí a data, né? Mas se vocês viram ali, confirma aí. É isso mesmo? 22 de junho, gente? RT Django, obrigado pela presença. Como é que tá aí? Quando que eu não entendi? O Arnaldo tá dizendo que é 22 de junho aí, galera. Confere aí. Que sai a nova atualização. A Era da Guerra. A hecatombe é no segundo capítulo aqui, ó. O Arnaldo tá falando. A hecatombe ou PVPs vão querer roubar. Diz o Freak. Funcom não põe, né? Legenda. Pois é. Quanto mais tesouro guardado, mais difícil a hecatombe. Olha, é essa a mecânica então? Quanto mais você tiver tesouros, mais a tua base vai ser atacada mais forte, que eu entendi, né? É isso? Creative chegou aqui, obrigado pela presença. A hecatombe acho que é o ponto central aí, né? Que vai ser diferente, né? A mecânica da hecatombe vai ser mais forte. O restante é mais buff, nerf, armaduras e passe temporada, né? Mas o que eu entendi é isso. É porque é Ash of War, né? Então é da guerra. Então, eu tô entendendo, a hecatombe vai ser um negócio bem interessante. A hecatombe foi buffada e reformulada. Os NPCs vão atacar com exército, base, etc. Olha, é isso aí, ó. Imperador também tá aqui no YouTube. Obrigado pela sua presença aí, amigão. Como é que tá? Espero que seja uma hecatombe que dê medo. Tomara que dê medo mesmo, né? Ah, tá no Twitter. Beleza. Mudança nas estaminas no combate, aqui o Lucas tá falando, realmente, né? Pelo que eu entendi, vai gastar mais estamina. O que os players têm mais medo da hecatombe, mas a estamina recupera mais rápido, né? É isso, né? Beleza. O que mais, gente? Pelo jeito quem tem medo de hecatombe agora Só vê aquele exército vindo e sai correndo. Larga tudo lá e constrói outra. Arcanjo Gamer BR, obrigado pela presença. Salve, como é que tá aí? Abraçando para deixar o like. Muito obrigado aí. Sejam muito bem-vindos aí à nossa livezinha. Leonardo San Martin também chegou aqui. Obrigado pela sua presença. Atualização que eu entendi dia 22 de junho, amigo. Felipe também chegou aqui. Rovida, obrigado pela sua presença. Eu quero ter um dragão. Seria legal, né? Serena, o que eles não entendem é que os players estão cansados dos mesmos mapas. Tá chato, né? Quando vier hecatombe, eles vão montar acampamento. Imperador é aquele mapa de Stygia que tinha no passe. Será um spoiler? Pode ser, né? Pode ser mesmo. Vamos sonhar que vai estar vindo um novo mapa para frente, né? Questão do nó de pulo. Build, carga, falaram alguma coisa? Não, eu não vi nada disso, né? Se falaram, falei, galera. DLC? DLC tem alguma DLC, galera? Acho que não, né? Só a atualização. Que é dia 20, que eu entendi, dia 22 de junho. Imagina uma hecatombe no norte, agora já era. Mas vai ser bacana, mais emoção. Tá muito Nutella, né? O jogo do Conan hoje tá muito Nutella, né? Tá tudo muito fácil. Você entra lá, já pega a da Lynch, já pega o Janus lá com nível 10, né? Já tá com arma lendária, machado do leão e tudo mais. Eles têm que deixar um pouquinho mais difícil, né? Vamos esperar para ver agora, né? Dia 22, como é que vai ser essa atualização. Mas assim, de novidade que eu entendi mais a hecatombe mesmo, né? Tem que ir aos acampamentos buscar, roubar as estátuas. Aquelas estátuas de ouro. E carregar até a base. Tem que carregar no braço, né? Não coloca mais no inventário, né? Eu entendi. Gostei do símbolo do clã. Também gostei. Não sei se vocês, mas quando lá a hecatombe eu caio no jogo umas 10 vezes em seguida. Diego tá dizendo vai ter inimigo, duas caveiras também. Olha, que legal. Matheus Bug chegou aqui, obrigado pela sua presença. Esses tesouros não cabem no bolso. Mas cabe um monte de coisa no bolso. Cabe 10 mil pedras no bolso. Como é que não vai caber um tesouro? Falou novas montarias. Camelo. Não vi, né? Não, novas montarias não vi falar, não. Moisés, o mapa do passe é o mapa da era Irbori. Não sei. Similton chegou aqui, obrigado pela sua presença, Similton. Dia 22 de junho é lançamento ou... pois é, não sei, eu acho que é lançamento. DLC não sei, amigo, mas a atualização é dia 22, parece. Tem que dar uma olhada no Twitter deles lá, mas acho que é dia 22. Mas DLC não tô sabendo. Lá no server novo do qual eu tive uma hecatombe veio... Pestigalho? Caraca, nunca vi. Caraca, não sabia que veio pestigalho. Sem montarias novas, diz aqui o Freak aborrecido. Quando vocês chutam o valor... Ah, o valor? Não sei do que. Atualização não tem valor que eu saiba, né? Felipe, é grátis. Atualização sempre é grátis. O que vem é no bazar. E se você quiser comprar, é o passe de temporada daí, né? Então, passe e bazar tem que comprar se quiser. Se quiser, não é obrigatório, né? Mas a atualização em geral não paga nada. A Funcom deveria corrigir essas quedas. Pois é, eles estavam falando disso aí hoje. Que eles estão tentando consertar, que eu entendi, né? Eu deveria começar do erro de novo quando não tinha quase nada. Vão faltar os gigas no disco. Vai. Meu Deus, nem me faz. Tem que limpar o meu aqui. A queda de servidores estão neste momento a trabalhar. Estamos mexendo para consertar os disconnects, né? Server oficial bem bom. Com vários jogadores. Aí fica caindo direto. Pois é. O pestigalho foi na savana. Eu nunca fiz base lá. Na savana mesmo nunca fiz. Então pode ser por isso que eu nunca vi. É isso, galera. Mais alguma novidade? Senão eu vou encerrando a livezinha. A Funcom podia dar as DLCs de graça. Pode ser que um dia, né? Pode ser que eles liberem, vamos ver. E o Call, parabéns por seus vídeos. Obrigado, amigão. Tamo sempre junto aí. Beleza, já vamos fazer mais vídeos aí. Já tô me organizando pra isso. Sai em junho, que eu entendi, é 22 de junho, mês que vem, amigo. 22 de junho, mês que vem. Acabei de mudar do deserto pra frente de Nova Zagar. Valeu aí, Felipe, tamo junto, galera. O Taverso tá dizendo que vou começar a preparar as bases. Vamos ter hecatombe forte. Vai ter que fortalecer as bases, né? Seria legal, né? Liberar a ilha de Cipta pra ser fora de DLC seria legal. Eu acho que novo mapa não tinha que cobrar DLC, né? Mas enfim, né? O que tem dentro do mapa para você fazer de arma e armadura pode ser uma DLC, construção. Mas mapa tinha que ser de graça, né? Jogar Conan Exiles no console não é fácil. Tá difícil mesmo, né? Pra mim tá de boa. No PlayStation, PS4 tá rodando bem. Esconda os tesouros que a guerra vem aí. Beleza. Beleza, galera? Então acho que é isso aí. Trazemos para vocês as novidades aí, né? Que a Funcom fez agora na live. Especial aí para divulgar a próxima atualização que vem aí para dia 22 de junho, que eu entendi. Né? Dá uma olhada aí no Twitter deles aí, né? Mas que eu tô entendendo é isso aí, as novidades. O principal é a hecatombe mesmo, né? Que você vai ter que... vai ter essa mecânica dos tesouros aí que você vai ter que guardar, né? Que eu entendi. E aí, conforme mais tesouros, mais difícil fica a hecatombe. E as hecatombes vai ser tipo exército atacando a sua base, né? Então, parece que essa é a novidade principal. Aí tem outras coisas ali que eles anunciaram ali, né? De estamina, de armas, armaduras, enfim, né? Mas o principal deve ser isso. Matheus Mazini chegou aqui, obrigado pela sua presença. Caneque, seja muito bem-vindo também. O pior que a gente esconder os tesouros. Pois é. Imagina correr com a estátua. Correr com a estátua até a base vai ser osso, hein? O principal, galera, aí para quem tá chegando agora é a questão da hecatombe, né? Hecatombe vai ser, exércitos vão atacar aí, que eu entendi, né? Por isso o war, né, da guerra. E aí tem a ver com os tesouros aí que você vai ter que carregar e guardar aí. As estátuas vão estar pelo jeito e pelas tribos, que eu entendi. E aí você vai ter que guardar essas estátuas. Quanto mais tesouro você guardar, mais forte vai ficar a hecatombe. Foi isso que eu entendi aí. Então, o principal vai ser isso, né? Vai ser o tempo da guerra mesmo, então no PVP também vai mudar algumas coisas. A questão da estamina aí, das armas, também vai mudar um pouco. Você vai recuperar a estamina mais rápido, que eu entendi. Você vai poder usar um emblema também no PVP do seu clã. Acho que no PVE também, né? Então você vai poder usar um emblema e vai poder personalizar ele, né? Então, essa é a ideia também de personalização, né? Eu acho que no resumo é isso. Daí tem questão de passe temporada, de bazar. Eles mostraram algumas armaduras, né? Para limpar os mapas, hecatombe é estourar tudo que é base. Isso é bom para limpar. Eles têm que pensar isso também, né? Hecatombe parece que vem no segundo capítulo aqui, ó. O Metaverso tá falando. Então talvez não venha no primeiro, galera. Então não é já em junho, dia 22, vem a atualização, né? Alguma coisa vai ter de diferente que eles vão estar anunciando, eu acho, mais perto, né? Vai ter mais live, eu tenho certeza que eles vão fazer mais perto. E aí vão estar anunciando melhor, né? Mas a hecatombe que eu tô entendendo aí que o Metaverso tá falando é no segundo capítulo. Não no primeiro agora, dia 22, né? Seria em julho daí, né? As hecatombes. Mas em junho vai ter atualização, sim. Hecatombe vai ser um monte de rainha campeã da arena, deve ser. Mais um monte de mãe rubra. Beleza. Deixa eu ver aqui. Sim, achei que era uma DLC. Não, é uma atualização, não é DLC. Matheus Brasil se inscreveu aqui. Obrigado pela sua inscrição, amigo. Seja muito bem-vindo. Se você não se inscreveu, se inscreve aí, galera. Deixa o like aí pra dar aquela fortalecida aí no nosso canal. O emblema personaliza na bancada nova. Tem uma bancada nova, até tinha esquecido, é verdade. Vai para tudo que pode conter esse emblema. Vai ficar diferenciado, né? A personalização sempre é uma coisa boa nos jogos, né? Porque daí você fica diferente dos outros. Não é aquela coisa repetida, né? Então, o que eu entendi, o emblema vem para personalizar o teu clã. Então, certo, vai ter bandeira, vai ter estandarte, o escudo. Vai aparecer teu emblema, né? Eita! Aí é show, galera. Obrigado. Obrigado aí, Moisés. Seja muito bem-vindo aí. Obrigado de ser membro relâmpago aqui no canal. Seja muito bem-vindo. Quem puder aí, R$ 6,99, galera. Seja membro aqui para fortalecer. Show de bola aí, Moisés. Estamos sempre junto, amigão. Bem-vindo à família kolxgame. Se você quiser colaborar com as nossas metas aí, você que está aí assistindo, tá aí as nossas metas aí na tela. Se você quiser ajudar, né, ser membro, dar um superchat, enfim, se inscrever e dar aquela força para nós. Escorregar um Prime ajuda bastante. Ou então novas montarias, como disse o... pois é, faltou as montarias, né? Faltou as montarias. Tinha que ter alguma montaria aí. Podia ser o camelo, né? O próprio camelo, porque tem a ver, né? Que eu entendi tem a ver com a Stygia, né? Então seria legal. O camelo, né? Nem que fosse para passear no mapa, né? Na atualização, os NPCs são cegos e surdos. Ah, é? Eles testaram em Nova Zagar. Aquela hora, a Aproxima só vem 1 ou 2 NPCs. Nossa, eu não percebi isso. Então no teste Nova Zagar estavam testando isso aquela hora que o Flick tá falando aqui, né? Os NPCs são cegos e surdos. O que mata muito os jogos online são as divisões de plataforma. É verdade, né? Podia ser crossplay, né? Podia ser multiplataforma, verdade. Ontem eu tava assistindo até um streamer lá aí na Twitch, ele tava falando sobre isso, né? Que se o jogo não vem multiplataforma, o jogo tá morto. Ele tava falando ontem, né? O jogo já tá morto antes de nascer, né? Se ele não vem multiplataforma. Deixa o like, galera. Se você não deixou ainda, deixa o likezão aí pra fortalecer no YouTube. Deixa o follow lá no Twitch. Pra dar aquela força pra nós. Estamos aqui com 82 likes, ó. Vamos chegar aos 100 likes aí pra dar aquela força pra nós aí. Metaverso, acabei de confirmar. Segundo capítulo é Hecatombe. E terceiro capítulo, Batalha no PvE. Olha aí, então obrigado de confirmar Metaverso. Então essa é a novidade aí, né? Se vocês quiserem dar uma olhada, acho que lá no Twitter deles, né? Exilados de Conan, deve ter mais informações. E a batalha no PvE eu não sei o que é ainda, né? Vocês entenderam? Tem a ver com a Hecatombe, será também? Eu não entendi bem o que é a batalha no PvE. Vamos ver como é que vai ser. Eles não falaram muito disso, né? Da Hecatombe eles falaram, mas do batalha no PvE não consegui perceber. Novos boss no mapa. E correção de armas lendárias e craftadas podem ser reparadas com kit, mas acabam por perder durabilidade. Olha, ó, as informações do Freak aqui, ó. Então vai ter novos boss. Batalha no PvE contra players? Pois é, não entendi essa parte, se é contra players ou ainda eles não falaram o que é, talvez, né? Talvez é só anunciaram que vai ter isso, né? Porque no PvE não tem sentido ser player contra player, mas enfim, né? Vamos ver. Porque eles não postam a live no YouTube? Pois é, não sei. Amanhã tem nova live. Amanhã? Ô louco, já amanhã? Eita. Vamos transmitir de novo então, se tem amanhã. Você tem PS4 como eu? Lamento. Imagina a grande animação e você com um processador. Pois é. No PS4 não sei como é que vai ser essas hecatombes, né? Imagine. Amanhã já sai o test live? Olha. Vai sair para o teste nos PCs amanhã. Olha o Fick tá dizendo. Então amanhã eles já vão mostrar como é que vai ser. Olha. Beleza. Super empolgado para novos bugs. Diz aqui o Tian. E aí, Tian, obrigado pela presença. Eu só jogo Conan offline. Sim. Beleza, galera? Acho que é isso. Vou encerrando por aqui. Obrigado da presença de vocês aí, dos comentários. Depois a gente vai fazer um resumo também, né? Mas obrigado a todos que acompanharam, que deixaram o like, se inscreveram aí, se tornaram membro. Tamo sempre junto, galera. Tamo sempre junto. Valeu demais aí. Companhia de vocês aí. Novas peças de construção também, Mas isso acho que talvez mais no bazar e também no passe, né? Mas se vai sair mais coisa amanhã, a gente traz mais informação amanhã também para vocês nessa live, né? Belezinha? Vou indo nessa então. Um grande abraço aí, beijo no coração. Se der certo hoje, 16 horas tem live, né? Vamos ver se eu consigo fazer. Já é 14 horas. Vamos ver se vai... não, hoje é segunda, não. Hoje não tem live. É amanhã. Amanhã, 9 horas da manhã aí. É para ter livezinha e vamos ver como é que vai ser essa transmissão amanhã da Funcom, né? Beleza? Grande beijo, grande abraço e amanhã estamos de volta aí com mais uma live para vocês aqui no canal kolxgame. Fique com Deus aí, ótima semana e fui! Valeu, Rei Pelé! Falou!